So story time, no skill tree breakdowns or Vault Hunter breakdowns, just kind of my time with Borderlands. Now, I got into Borderlands at a pretty young age. I was subscribed to a magazine that came from my local like video game shop that I'd get in the mail. And I remember getting this specific article that had Borderlands in it, talking about the game and what it was. And at the time, I was into like shooter games, really like shooter games, but I had never played a looter shooter, mainly because looter shooters hadn't been popularized yet. I think Borderlands 1 was really what put the genre on the map. And got this article. It was, I think, like, I remember seeing these trailers and stuff like that for Borderlands before it was even cell shaded, before it had its signature cell shaded look. When I first got Borderlands, one of my favorite things to do was play co-op with my little sister. My little sister and I, we fought a lot when I was younger. Like, we really just didn't get along. And one of the only times that we'd really like agree and get along was playing Borderlands. So I have a lot of fond memories of playing split screen co-op with her. We would share our loot. We would genuinely work together, and we had a lot of bonding time playing Borderlands 1 together. So when Borderlands 2 first came out, my sister and I immediately got into the game. We loved it. We had so much fun playing Borderlands 2. And at the time, they were starting to get like a real community around Borderlands 2. There might have been a community around Borderlands 1. I'm sure there was. I just like wasn't really on the internet yet. And then I started watching Borderlands 2 YouTube videos. There was Yoda Slayer, Killer6, Jolts Dude, Gothalion, Broman. There were so many really good YouTubers, and I never had the urge to ever, like never once, had the urge to like post a YouTube video for Borderlands. It just would never cross my mind. But I watched all of these content creators make all of these awesome guides. I followed them. I followed all of their build guides, and really like was inspired by them and what they were doing, the way that they would break down the different synergies that they were using. I remember seeing build videos for different Vault Hunters for like a Salvador guide. I think it was from Dirtlands that was like 2 hours long, and just the length and depth that he went into, I loved. And I loved getting that like nitty-gritty experience with these characters and getting super into it. And then as I played more and more video games, that started to be kind of the thing that I enjoyed the most, is getting really into the builds and the synergies of different characters. And I played Borderlands 2 a lot, and then I craved more games that had similar synergies. I remember specifically, I played so much Borderlands 2, I remember specifically looking up articles and games of games like Borderlands, because I was just so addicted to the formula that Borderlands created of that loot. And the thing that I love the most about Borderlands is the progress. Progression is the name of the game for me. I love the feeling of starting weak and starting slow and then getting better and better. And I think Borderlands nails that power fantasy from starting from lower to going higher, and then you just keep getting higher. You can farm more and more and try to get more perfect parts and more perfect gear, and it just feels like you've got this endless power progression, and it never really got dull for me. So when Borderlands 3 was coming out, I was actually an adult. I was working as a medical assistant in Washington, D.C. I found, funny enough, I really liked the like inner working mechanisms and synergies of builds and skill trees, and I found I translated that pretty well into biological systems. I know that sounds weird, but when you get into biology and chemistry, there's a lot of things that work together that are so, like, they work really well together, obviously, because they make us run. And I got really into biotech and biogenetics, and I ended up working for the Navy for a bit. I worked in an MRI tech lab in Australia, took a lot of different work in biology systems, and then at the time that Borderlands 3 was coming out, I was working as a medical assistant. And I remember specifically, I shouldn't have done this, but I was actually at work when the stream for Borderlands 3 reveal was happening, and I was so excited for this game that I like basically just like kind of disappeared from work just to watch this stream so that I could like watch Borderlands. And I did get in some trouble for that. I shouldn't have done it, but I just to give you an idea, I had a countdown on my phone for the days until Borderlands 3. And then when the skill tree builders dropped for Borderlands 3, because they dropped the like skill trees for all the Vault Hunters before the game came out, that's all I did. I was joined a Reddit group that was called like our Borderlands 3 builds, and I got into all the skill trees and I started sharing my builds. And then the game came out, and I remember Borderlands 3 came out. I was so excited for it. Funny enough, I actually got fired right before Borderlands 3 came out. If you couldn't tell from the videos, I have crippling ADHD. I no longer take medication to take care of it, and I wasn't taking medication at work. basically got fired from my job, and it was one of my lowest points ever because I was trying to become a doctor, and if you get fired from a job as a medical assistant, it doesn't bode very well for a budding career in the medicine field. Played through Borderlands 3, and I played through all of it basically without dying. I remember getting to the end game of the game, and I blitzed through it, and I was really loving it, and I was doing something that I thought was going to work really well kind of before the game came out. And then I went to YouTube, and I was watching these YouTube Amara build videos, and I remember looking at them, and I'm like, they don't know that these two things don't work together. Like, they're saying this does this, but it doesn't actually do that, because I was testing everything as I was going. And so 3 days after Borderlands 3 came out, I booted up a Twitch stream, not because I was trying to be a streamer, but I didn't have a laptop. I had no way of recording, so my only way of actually making YouTube content was to go live on Twitch and then export that VOD as a YouTube video so that I could upload it. So I couldn't do any editing. I didn't have any like editing equipment or a computer. So I just did my like Kinect Xbox camera and microphone and went live on Twitch and recorded a 10-minute video talking about my Amara build. And I posted it to YouTube, and I woke up the next day and it had over 100,000 views. And I remember what got it that many views is I posted it to the subreddit that I was in, that I was talking about earlier, like r/Borderlands 3 builds. And it was the very top of the Reddit, and people were commenting and watching the video. And I remember I had notifications on somehow. Like, I got an email every single time someone subscribed to me on YouTube, and my phone just wouldn't be quiet the entire night. It was just blowing up, and it was crazy. And then I posted another video, and that video got views. And it was funny, I still didn't have a way to record anything. Like, I just had to go live to Twitch, and I started going live to Twitch, and people started showing up to the Twitch streams. And I didn't want that to happen because I wasn't there to be a streamer. I just wanted to record my video. And then people were sitting there watching me just make my mistakes over and over again, because once again, I couldn't edit anything. Slowly, I started I got pretty fortunate. I was actually able to monetize my channel pretty quickly because I got a lot of views, front-loaded, and then I was able to pick up a laptop where I started renting laptops, but I couldn't actually buy them yet because I was moving, so I'd rent a laptop, return it, rent a laptop, return it. Probably shouldn't have done that, but it's what I needed to do to get by, to like start recording and actually adding some production quality, at least being able to edit the videos and cut them down. So this was all very exciting to me. Prior to Borderlands 3 coming out and getting fired, I really just didn't know what I was going to do with my life, because everything had always been biology, and then all of a sudden I was like, I don't know if I can do biology. And I hit a very low point in my life. It was the lowest point I've ever been in. I went in to get actually tested for ADHD, not because I already knew I had ADHD, but I had to get retested to get extended time on the 𝐏𝐀𝐍𝐃𝐄. And they also diagnosed me with depression at the same time, which wasn't what I was looking for. They didn't go in for that test, but they also said that you're depressed. So it was a low point. And Borderlands 3, not to be corny, but like it really did kind of save me from a really low point in my life. So all of a sudden, I had people to share my content with and talk passionately about the game. The stream started picking up, and I had to move. So I moved to Florida for a job that I was planning on taking in real estate, because once again, I didn't think that the biology career was going to work out very well. So basically, I had like a bunch of months before I needed to actually start this job, and the YouTube was going well, the Twitch was going well, and I was like, what's gonna happen here? Because I have this job that's gonna be really intense. It got to the point where I was doing pretty well on YouTube and Twitch, and I went in for this job that I was supposed to start, and I sat down with the owner of the company and was like, please give me 6 months. Give me 6 months. Let me see if I can make this YouTube career work, and if not, I will come work for you. And that was a big moment, because if they had said, no, I can't give you that time for financial reasons, I might have had to take the job. My parents were kind of like, do what you want, but like take the job, if that makes sense. But yeah, I ended up not taking the job, and then in those 6 months, I ended up making Twitch partner. My channel hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, and since then, since that moment, I basically posted 2.5 years of just straight Borderlands content. It was such an amazing experience because I had all these people and these YouTubers that I grew up watching, and all of a sudden they were talking to me and I was talking to them, and these people that I've looked up for and watched their content for forever, 𝐏𝐶, 𝐁𝐎𝐑𝐃𝐄𝐒, getting to play with them, it all was just a dream come true. And one of the best things was just how uplifting and supportive the Borderlands community is, because I had been part of it, but just on the outside, and now I was a little bit more on the inside of the Borderlands community. And there's so many things, amazing things that the Borderlands community does, not only surrounding the game, but outside of the game, from meetups to raising money for 𝐁𝐎𝐑𝐃𝐄𝐒. It's just a community that I'm really happy to be a part of, and so glad that this worked out for me. It's been, I mean, it's been life-changing. It really has been. So yeah, that is kind of my story. I'm so blessed to be in the position that I am within the Borderlands community, that they've uplifted me so much, and I'm so thankful for not only the experiences that I've had with the game from when I was a kid, to playing with my sister, and the memories that we share with the game there, and the bonding that we experienced over the game, but now to not only being able to do it as a career, but also for all of the lifelong friends that I've made within the Borderlands community. There's just so many fantastic people here, and I couldn't be happier that this is the game and this is the community that I've gotten so heavily involved with. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown and the little story time, and I will catch you in the next one. That is going to be it for the Finding Your Vault Hunter series. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you around. If you ever want to catch me live, twitch.tv/Moxsy, and my YouTube is just /Moxsy. I will catch y'all later. Take care. Peace.